With little or no editing, it's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today we're going over Todd's defense. Todd's 28 million, Plat 3 in Crucible. And these are the new room rules, right? And we're trying things out and we're trying to figure out what works. We know that it's going to be a very offensive heavy meta right now. That's pretty clear from the outset. We're able to put a lot of things on defense, especially if we crack it out and buy some of the new toys. That allows for a lot more variety in what we can do. But if you're a mid-range player, then we're probably going to be coming up on what will appear to be cookie cutter teams in the future, because we're just finding that there's simply the things that work the best, and then it's hoping your opponent doesn't beat them as efficiently as you can. So we talked at length. We had Jgiusti and RolfKieran on voice today with me. And remember, if you don't like any of the advice I give, then be sure to go find those guys and complain to them, because they're the ones who pass along the gratuitous amounts of knowledge that we go through on these teams. All right, room number 1, we have the unlimited X-Men here. And this is an okay thing to do. In room 1, we get the, we get 50%. If they're below 50% health, they do 200% extra damage. And on crit, apply minor defense down. That's for Raiders and Strikers. So we have the ISO set to Raiders and Strikers, and that's good. And you're going to get a lot of damage out of your Strikers. These are hard-hitting tunes, and that extra 200% damage, that's going to be pretty noteworthy. The team's still going to get beat, and there's other places we may want to be using an unlimited for better value. Now, if you're one of those people who only has a 5-piece unlimited and you don't have many other hero mutants at a comparable power level, this is probably a good option for you. Throw it in here as a 5-piece. But if you've got other things to play with, like say a Jubilee and a Beast and maybe a Phoenix or something like that, you could very much consider breaking this team apart, making it into a hybrid for room 5, and that might be more valuable to you there. Also, another team that works really well in room 1 is going to be Gamma. I think a lot of people are going to be seeing Gamma in room 1. All in all, this is okay. I'm going to say like a A- for this team. I think it's not the best choice for room 1, but it still works pretty well right here. Now in room 2, we have what should be the best composition for this room. So far, a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people are in agreement that Bifrost is the way to go for the raid room. This is the room where you get all your raid bonuses. So you're going to be using a raid team in here. We're all going to have a good laugh if Bionic Avengers turns out to work really well here, but probably not. So the thing is, if your Bifrost team isn't huge, like fully built out, 5 stars plus, then you don't want to use them here, because Death Seed is going to feed off of those smaller characters, and the Death Seed raid team will get a very efficient kill on your Bifrost team. So what's going to be better in here than Bifrost is going to be the Rebirth team. Rebirth is much more sturdy. Still going to lose to Death Seed, but it's going to take a lot more attacks, and that's what this season is all about. Figuring out the thickness of your defense and how many attacks it's going to take your opponent to get through this team versus another team, because all the teams are probably going to get one shot. It's just how many taps it's going to take when they're in that matchup to get the job done. So this team is too small. The Sylvie's going to get clipped off. That Kid Loki's going to get clipped off. The Death Seed is just going to get rolling really fast and destroy this team quite quickly. We want to move Rebirth in here instead. Also, if you are using the Bifrost team, I recommend that you put Vol to the outside, next to Beta Ray, next to Kid Loki or OG Loki, your choice. But when Beta Ray taunts and splash damage happens on his adjacent people, they're going to be doing a counterattack, and you want the best counterattacks, and you want to keep Sylvie alive. She's a little bit squishy still, even after they kind of touched her up. So let's get Rebirth in here. This is too early to be throwing in Bifrost, and I don't like the placement. I'm giving this one a D+. I think it's going to get rolled. I think it's kind of the bad thing to do. Once it's built, get the right placement, put them back in here. All right, team number 3 is Infinity Watch. This is going to start being the Wakandan room, okay? This is the room where everyone is throwing in Infinity Watch. They just have a great synergy with this room because they spawn with defense up, but more importantly, they spawn with immunity and safeguard. And immunity and safeguard is going to keep them from getting the defense down that everybody else will. In room 3 on offense and defense, Cosmic Hero characters on turn gain deflect, who cares? But when attacked, apply defense down to the attacker. So when they take a turn, they won't be getting defense down, like your opponent probably will. Also, the team's just rugged. It takes a lot of hits to get through them, so this is a very good team to put in here if you have them built. We keep saying that Infinity Watch is over the hill and don't bother building them, and then the next season comes around and we start using them again. So I'm not going to tell people to not build this team. If you want to build this team, go ham on it. I'm glad I built this team back in the day. It has served me well. I have gotten a ton of value out of this team. I really like it. These are great ISOs in here. Skirmisher with all strikers, that works. You can also do Moondragon as a healer. So, great team, really like it. Another option, if you're a Kraken, if you flexed hard and purchased that Nowhere team and have it built up, Nowhere might be the other option, but that's for those people that really pushed hard and have that big team to put it in here. So, and that might even be a tool you use on offense, so we don't know. All right, let's go into room 4. This is where Todd's rebirth is. Now, this is a big rebirth team. We're gonna leave Quicksilver in this room. We're gonna take the 5-piece rebirth team and put that in 2. We're gonna bench that Bifrost team that was in 2. And in place of the rebirth team in room 4, we're looking at the Young Avengers with Quicksilver. You're gonna be dropping America Chavez to put them in here. Now, one thing about the Wrecking Ball room, on turn, all allies with offense up gain assist. The YA team is gonna have offense up a lot. You may wanna drop Miss Marvel and keep America Chavez in here for the passive boost that America Chavez gives to the team. They're gonna be assisting like crazy anyways. It may not be a triple tap, but it's still a lot of damage, and that health bonus from Chavez might be better than the triple tap assist combo that comes from Miss Marvel. Now, I'm not sure how this works. Is it gonna be the whole team all assisting because they all have offense up? And are you gonna get a double assist from Miss Marvel with a quadruple tap or what? I don't know how crazy it's gonna get. We kind of gotta see how this works. More testing is needed, but that is an option that you may wanna think about. For me, I'm gonna start with Miss Marvel in there and see how that goes. Actually, I think I am testing the America Chavez one, but I'm recommending to other people, start with Miss Marvel to be safe. And then if we find out that they assist like crazy and it's really tough without Miss Marvel in there, then we might want to go for America Chavez for the passive bonus, and America Chavez puts out a lot more damage than Miss Marvel. Quicksilver is awesome. He just is the plug and play character, and a lot of us are getting him to 7 stars soon, if not already. And so we're going to be seeing a lot of Quicksilver in there. He just goes really well. Plus, he's taking a lot of turns, and you're getting a lot of assists on his turns. So that's important. All right. This is an okay thing to do if you have Bifrost in 2 and Bifrost is built really big. So I don't want to dock Todd too much because this is a great idea. He's just not ready for it yet. So we're going to go with a A- on this one. We're going to put in the YA in its place until we can get that Bifrost team up and running for room 2. All right, moving on to room 5. We didn't like this one. Jgiusti especially does not like a Tangled Web composition on defense. They are too easily beaten. A lot of people are going to have Tangled Web on offense, and they can just mirror this. There's lots of easy ways to beat this in 3 or 4 turns. You could come in with like a Eternals composition and just delete it really fast. Lots of stuff, lots of vulnerabilities. The Spider-Verse tag isn't getting a lot of love. Most people are looking into Hero Mutant compositions in here, and I think that's the way to go. I think we need to take the Unlimited X-Men with at least Rogue and Gambit, if not Rogue, Gambit, and Dazzler, and pair them with a Jubilee and Beast. However, if your Jubilee and Beast or whatever Hero Mutants you want to go with are too small, it's kind of the same thing. They're going to use one of the Master Keys. That's Jgiusti's term, by the way. Master Keys are simply the big toys that beat anything in any room, like a Masters of Evil or a New Warriors. They're going to take one of those teams, and they're going to beat it no matter what, because you've got a weak link in there. So you need to have 5 big members in there if you want to do one of those Hero Mutant combos and make it work. But we should probably try that rather than one of these. Or another option, if you happen to have like a big Weapon X or something, people are just throwing in Weapon X, treating it like a blank room. They're not going to be using Weapon X on offense, so you throw them in there, see if you get lucky. and somebody's just like, well, I wasn't prepared to go against Weapon X, and they are a little less efficient than what you'd want to be. Okay, so those are some options. We really don't like any of this. We really don't like Agent Venom in here. He's not adding a lot. Yes, he has a Spider-Verse tag, but he's not doing anything for this team, so get him out of there. Make sure he's going with the 5-piece Rebirth team in room 2 until you get the Bifrost team up and running. For me, I think this is a D. It's in here, but it's a liability rather than an asset. Remember, all your teams are going to get one shot. You need to be looking at what takes the most amount of turns to one shot. All right, and finally in room 6, we have the Gamma team. We don't like replacing Green Hulk with Dormammu. In fact, the 5-piece Gamma team is going to be way better. This is the room where ultimate and special abilities both cost 2 less. So your Green Hulk is going to be doing some taunting and a lot of healing. He's going to be ulting a lot, and he's just going to be better in here than Dormammu with those revives. I think this room is going to get one of those call-outs to a new Warriors or something coming in here and lighting it up. So anything's going to lose. You might as well save your Dormammu for offense. I think the 5-piece works a lot better. Ultimately, we can move Gamma to room 1, and you could replace this with a Darkhold composition. Darkhold APOC, all the usual suspects. This room, you're going to bring your big toys, the things that pop off huge with those ultimates, and just get them smashing away. So Gamma's great, but we're having that taunt in this room is going to be really helpful. So I definitely think we should put Green Hulk back in here. And if you really want to keep Dormammu, maybe consider replacing your Abomination or something like that. But I really think that the 5-piece Gamma is great, and I think Darkhold is great. Alternatively, maybe you could use Unlimited in here, but I think that it's going to be more Darkhold or Gamma for this one. So we're kind of waiting to see how this trickles out. We're waiting to see which of these ideas works best, what counters people will find to super quickly delete some of the standard ideas that are already bubbling to the surface. And once we establish a baseline of what the best defenses are, I'm pretty certain that this player base will figure out some amazing hybrids or ways of attacking these teams to quickly delete them, and then people will be scurrying to switch it up so that we can try something else and stumble people up. I don't know if you're going to be able to have enough defensive teams that require a specific counter. It may be that you just need to put in the biggest stuff and hope that your opponent isn't as efficient at offense as you are. So I hope this one works out well for you. Remember, guys, don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and others too. And I'll see you next time. Bye.